this might just be the worst prank anyone's ever pulled. I'm Phil Frost, and I am a failure. Okay, I've come up with an idea. As you can see, it's just me. Travis is not here. He wasn't here in last week's video, he's still not here. No one knows where he is. Hopefully he'll come back. But while he's away, with the idea that he will eventually come back at some point, I thought, this is the perfect time to prank him. But here's the thing, I don't like pranks. I don't like making people feel bad with pranks. What I do like are pranks that have absolutely no consequences and just make you feel confused for a few seconds. And that's exactly what I'm planning to do here. It's a bit of an ambitious task. What I'm planning on doing is building a replica of Travis's house in the Lost Boys Minecraft world, somewhere else. Then logging in to his account, walking him there, putting him inside his house so that the next time we play the Lost Boys world, he'll just be like, oh, okay, I'm in my house. He'll go to leave his house and realize he has no idea where he is. I'll know where he is so he can get back. His old house will still be in the same place and nothing will have changed, so everything will be fine. He'll just be confused. And that's the plan. Why is this my plan? I don't know. It's night. That's not great. Let's go make it not night by closing our eyes while laying on a flat blue thing. Flat blue thing. Here we go. I put my jukebox behind my bed that we got in the previous episode. I said I was going to make a jukebox. I did. Am I happy about that decision? It's debatable. I don't really know. It's okay. I really want to make a minecart track going from my house to Travis's house so I don't have to walk all this way every time. The problem is no one has iron. Travis and I both mined a lot of iron in the previous episode, but I looked in my chest. There's none there. I don't know where it is. Okay. I forgot how strangely shaped Travis's house was. I knew it was strangely shaped, I just didn't remember exactly how, and it is odd. It's not as odd from this side. It's just a square... Panda? It's just a big old rectangle thing with a square-ish thing on top. I feel like I need to take some pictures of this so I know exactly how to replicate it. As I'm taking pictures of this house, I'm realizing that this is going to be an exponentially more difficult task than I thought. Not necessarily getting the materials part. The materials aren't that crazy. If I was trying to replicate my own house, now that would be awful. But replicating Travis's house isn't too bad. Materials-wise, the problem is getting the shape, because the shape is so unorthodox. With mine, it's pretty much just a big cylinder with a larger cylinder on top. There's nothing too specific you have to remember. His looks fairly rectangular from the outside, but once you get inside and look around, there's a lot of odd shapes and weird ways that things were put together. Okay, I remember saying before we went into the caves that I had a bunch of axes and I wasn't sure why. So I'm hoping I still do, because I could use them now. Okay. I feel like I need to tell you a story or something while I'm just doing this boring activity. Let me tell you about a near-death experience I've had. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I'm like, okay, let me tell you a fun story. Here's the time I almost died. Yeah, when I was a junior in high school, my friends asked if I could help them build a trebuchet for their physics class. If you don't know what a trebuchet is, it's kind of like a catapult, but not. Luckily, it's not important that that's what we were building. What's important is that we were building something that involved having to cut pieces of wood. but we didn't have a saw, at least a hand saw or anything. All we had was an electric saw that was super old, and that one of my other friends wasn't sure would even work at all. But we plugged it in, we turned it on. It seemed to be working. It seemed like everything was going fine. However, for some reason, no one wanted to be the person to actually try to cut the wood. Like, everyone was hesitant to use the saw, even though we saw the blade was spinning. It seemed to be working. Everyone was a bit hesitant, so I was like, you know what, I'll do it. Even though I'm the guest here. I'm just kind of helping you guys out in what little ways I can. I'll cut the pieces of wood. So I go to cut it. I put the saw blade down onto the piece of wood. And, yeah, that boy... that boy basically explodes. The saw... Something happened. Something about this saw's design. There's a piece of plastic jutting out in a place it should not be. So when I put the saw blade down and it was getting close to touching the wood, it hit on this piece of plastic, and it made the entire saw like ricochet off of itself and jump up into the air a bit. And it made this loud sound, and everyone around me, and even me for a second, thought that this is it. I'm going to get a saw to my face, because it jumped up towards my face, making this loud, horrible noise. All the other people ran off in different directions. The friend who was sort of running this entire operation, who was the main person behind this plan, he went running behind the garage just so I think he thought I died and he did not want to see me dead. So he went running behind the garage so that there was a sizable amount of space and a couple of walls between him and me. But luckily I did not perish. If I would have, then that's kind of scary, because now I'm talking to you as a ghost. Okay guys, I am 18 minutes into the process and I'm already about to back out. This prank is not good enough to warrant me collecting materials for as long as I'm going to. So I have another idea. I have another plan. We're just going to take one section of his house and we're going to repeat it over and over and over. I might be the worst at pranks. This is what I'm realizing through all this. I think I'm the worst at pranks because I don't do them. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'll just do a series. I'll do a bunch of mini pranks. Because I can't think of one big, grandiose prank. Let's do a bunch of small pranks. The first one will involve a bunch of melons. So let me gather up all of the melons of the world, and then we can begin. So what I'm going to do, this is a pretty basic prank, not super proud of this one. I'm going to put all of his belongings into a chest that I'm going to place somewhere near his house, and then all of the chests that are in his house I'm going to fill entirely with melons. So I'm going to be giving him a lot of the melons that I've collected over time in exchange for pranking him. That's how it's going to go. Okay, he's got a bunch of stuff in there. For now, I'm just going to put the chest right here. We can move it later. But I need to get all of these chests emptied out. I think whenever he does realize that I've replaced all of his belongings with melons, I'm going to say, "Ha, you just got meloned." Not in that exact tone of voice. That was incredibly monotone, but I'm going to say, "Ha, you just got meloned." And then I'm not going to say anything else. I'm just going to wait for him to respond. Okay, I've filled all 7 of his chests with melons. So that was a success. What if I make his bed also look like melons. Better yet, what if I just replace the crafting table and all of his furnaces and his bed with melons? Put melon there. And we put melons here. There we go. That's good. That's good. Melons everywhere. Oh, there's another crafting table. Well, that's going to become a melon. Okay, good. He's got melons in place of everything he could possibly want, except for the chests, which are still there, but they are filled with melons. He's got this empty pin. I could just put a melon in it. What am I gonna do with this? Because I would need so many melons. I don't have that many melons. I've already used up almost every melon I own. Wait, I just realized the easiest thing to do. Why are you angry, man? Why are you angry? I could just plant them. Just plant them like normal. Then I wouldn't have to make blocks of melons, because they're just already planted and they will grow into blocks of melons. I'm going to have to improve his farm so that he can properly farm. Does he have a bucket of water? No. Okay, I gotta go get a bucket of water. I'll see you some year. I'll be back in... This prank is not good. Guys, in case it's not abundantly obvious, this prank is not good. This might just be the worst prank anyone's ever pulled. I'm just a blonde man with cat ears on his head, jumping towards my house in the rain at night because I'm trying to prank my friend by putting melons everywhere. And that's the extent of the prank. Alright, put some water there. Put some water there. I'm so confused by his choices. That side has an odd number of places to plant things. This side has an even number. Ka-chow. What else can we do? Well, one, we gotta hide his chests somewhere. I think we hide them in the melon farm. I think that's the strategy. What if all of his stuff, like there was a glitch and all of his stuff just immediately despawned? And the prank, the stupidest prank anyone's ever done, because it's so pointless, results in all of his stuff being lost for eternity. What other melon-related pranks can we do? There must be more. There must be something else. Can we make him look like melons? Is there something in the Minecraft marketplace that will enable Travis to look like he is melons? It wouldn't stay that way anyway. Well, we have to see if he has any belongings on him, regardless. So I'm going to log into his account and position him in such a way to where he will immediately face the effects of the melons whenever he logs in next time. Yeah, that's good. He just got a bunch of melons. Then we're going to put him up in his house, where he has melons. I'm going to put him like right here so that the melons are just out of his view. But then he'll notice, wait, why do I only have melons? Why is my house melons? Why do I only possess melons? Okay, before I end this video on a complete failure of a prank, let me Google how to pull off a good prank. Okay, I found a list of 48 harmless pranks that apply to real life. I'm going to see if I can implement any of the stuff written about these into Minecraft somehow. Okay, one of them is just wish them happy birthday when it's not their birthday. That's a prank that this lists. That sounds almost as bad as the melon prank I've done. So I'm going to do that as well. I'm gonna make a sign that just says happy birthday when he tries to leave his house, and then whenever he sees it, I'll say, yeah, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. Whenever he tells me it's not his birthday, I will insist that it is his birthday. I'm not going to take no for an answer. It's going to be his birthday. Yeah, so if he wants to leave, he'll have to go about here. So this is where I'll put the sign. Exclamation point. There we go. That's the stuff. Alright, we got the melon prank. We got the birthday prank. Are there any other pranks on this list? Okay, this one, I can't do exactly what it's recommending here on this website I found about pranks, but this is wild, so I need to tell you. I will do it somehow within Minecraft, but it won't be nearly as good as what they're saying. It says one of the best April Fool's pranks to pull is this one for anyone who loves conspiracy theories. Tell your friend that you're pretty sure that Elvis has been stalking you. Yes, the king of rock and roll, who passed away in 1977. Your friend, being a reasonable person, will think you're joking, but continue to confide in him that you're almost positive it's the real Elvis, and he's been following you for weeks. Give it the full day for your paranoid ramblings to feel like old news, and then invite them to a pre-dinner drink. So this is a very long prank. This takes all day. What they don't know is, once they go to the dinner with you, you've arranged for a guy dressed like Elvis to hover nearby, watching you from behind a tree. Hopefully your friend notices them first. What? Like all the other pranks on this list I'm reading are fairly obvious ones. They're not that crazy. They're not that strange. So why Elvis? Why? I'm doing that though. I'm gonna say that Elvis is stalking me. Yep, okay, that's the last one on this list I can kind of pull off in Minecraft. So here's our plan now that it's night. We got 3 pranks lined up for Travis whenever he does come back from wherever he's been. I don't know if he's in Cuba or if he was driving here and took a wrong road and he's been taking the world's longest detour ever since, or what happened. But whatever happened, these are the pranks we have ready for him. He just has melons everywhere. That's number 1. Number 2, we're going to insist that it is his birthday, even though it's not. And 3, we're going to try to convince him that Elvis is stalking me. Elvis, who once again died in 1977. That Elvis. These pranks, I gotta say, I think I may have broken a record. We need to call up Guinness right now. I may have broken a record for the most pointless pranks pulled in a single video. This is so stupid. I cut out a lot from the video, obviously, because you didn't want to watch me do a bunch of this boring stuff. But I've been doing this for over an hour. I spent over an hour putting melons in this man's house, writing happy birthday on signs, and looking for other pranks I could do within the world of Minecraft. And the best I was able to come up with is melons, happy birthday, and Elvis. I'm Phill Frost, and I am a failure.